let me play for you what the very revered Archbishop Charles Ajenasare and so Ekaye Ewo Perez Chapel this Sunday Efa Galamsey. We'll take a listen.
In fact, the United Nations Environmental Protection Agency in 2021 made a similar research or similar finding. And because a lot of our politicians and chiefs are complicit, it breeds corruption, and they lack the political will to stop Galamsey. May God help us, and may God stir their hearts to think of this nation. Give me a believing amen. So when does Galamsey happen? Most times it happens in the night or in the shadows, or during times of the lacks of enforcement of environmental laws. But in some places they do it in broad daylight. And it is a continuous cycle that can happen at any time, driven by the greed and desperation of individuals. In John chapter 3 verse 19, the New International Version says, this is the verdict. Light has come into the world, but people love darkness instead of light because their deeds were evil. When light comes, the darkness must give way. What I'm trying to do is to add my voice to the multitudes of people who are shining lights on this menace. We must bring this issue into the light and confront it with truth and justice. So what are some of the consequences of Galamsey? Because the consequences are die. Galamsey leads to environmental degradation, the loss of biodiversity, and the pollution of our water bodies. Our river and water bodies are particularly vulnerable to the impact of Galamsey because of the use of toxic chemicals in the mining process, which is posing severe health risks to miners, those who are doing it. Some are even dying in the course of doing it. In fact, the United Nations Environmental Protection Agency said this in 2021. They said some of the miners are beginning to have neurological problems, respiratory problems, and kidney damage. And it is affecting the surrounding communities. The water pollution is affecting aquatic life and the health of the communities that rely on these water sources. The contamination of our water bodies is posing significant health risks to public health. These days, the communities cannot even fetch from the rivers and drink anymore. Meanwhile, there are some people, their only source of drinking water is the river. Can you show the little boy fetching water in the And for some of the communities, the women, the fathers, everybody, that's the water they are fetching. Poisoned water. And the aquatic life. Can you show the video of the fish or the fishes? And what is happening to them? Galamsey. Look at what it's doing to our fishes. The fish, they are all dying. Because the people are channeling the water from their source, channeling the water. You see that, I don't know if the video, but by the time you get into the end of this video, you see somebody sitting there and fetching the water. So the fish don't even have water to swim in. And the fish, you see, they are fetching the water and pouring the water somewhere. So there is coming a time, even the fish we eat, we can't eat it anymore. A report just on September 7th by Erastus of My Joy Online. He said, many, and he showed many babies are now being born with deformities in the Galamsey areas. There are babies being born with extra limbs. Instead of having 2 hands, they have 3 hands. Instead of having 2 legs, some of them have 4 legs. Some of them, instead of having 5 fingers on each hand, are coming out with 7 fingers and 8 fingers. Some of them are coming out with malformed heads. The head is like a goat. The head is like a lizard. And all kinds of things are happening. Some of them are being born with the absence of genitalia. They are born, they don't have a penis, they don't have a vagina. There is nothing there. Some of them are suffering developmental issues. And some of the babies are born and they don't even survive because of Galamsey. In Hosea chapter 4, verses 1 to 3, I want to paraphrase or summarize it for you. It reads, amongst many other things, it says, there is no faithfulness, no love, no acknowledgement of God in the land. Because of this, the land mourns, and all who live in it waste away. Church, our land is mourning due to the destructive practices of Galamsey. And you and I must take heed of this warning. If you are here with me, give me a believing amen. Because when we neglect our responsibility, not only does the land suffer, but we all suffer.
Asempa FM. Asempa FM
94.7 Asempa FM. And that's the voice of Archbishop Charles Ajen Asare and Yeboma mo eti enti ninsama also kafa illegal mining which is Galamsey and amabo amaminti yate Prophet Akufo-Addo yate Archbishop Charles Ajen Asare and other interested stakeholders be brain so akasa ede afaho bana meka some of the solutions Dr. Owusu proposes. I say presently the detrimental effect of artisanal and small scale mining operations far outweigh the economic and social justifications provided by the sector. However, the problems can be resolved and ASM, which is artisanal and small-scale mining, can become a critical state revenue generation sector if the government engages the services of mining professionals with the requisite knowledge and experience to systematically and comprehensively tackle the real problems from a technical point of view. pragmatic measures need to be put in place immediately to address the issue of national concern. The fight against Galamsey has become the usual political rhetoric with no reasonable action taken. Referring to the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703, Section 83A, only Ghanaian citizens can acquire licenses to operate in the artisanal and small-scale mining space. The big question is, why are foreign nationals currently engaged in ASM activities in the country? Amazingly, some of the traditional leaders release lands to foreigners to operate illegal mining, including nationals from China, India, Turkey, Senegal, Nigeria, Niger, Mali, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Guinea, Sierra Leone, etc. In order to solve the problem, the fundamental mining engineering procedures applied in the large-scale mining sector to extract minerals from the ground need to be integrated into the artisanal and small-scale mining sector to bridge the gap between the two sectors in terms of minimal degradations. Politicization of the fight against Galamsey will continuously urge the problem to remain at a standstill without any obvious positive outcome, but practical guidance from a strong mining team can help in addressing the issue. To address the challenges, the following outlined holistic approach can be considered and executed correctly. 1. Strategizing to avoid concession encroachment. 2. Proper land acquisition. 3. Rightful registration plan. 4. Legitimate, expedited, and decentralized permitting process. 5. Development of standard operating procedures. 6. Establishment of standardized mining regulations. 7. Introduction of pollution-free mining strategy. 8. Development of corruption-free tax collection system. And 9. Effective monitoring. 10. Indiscriminate law enforcement. Indiscriminate law enforcement. Okay. Yeah, discriminate, I think. Implementation of these suggestions can help ensure environmentally friendly small-scale mining operations. Also, it can yield significant results in sustained economic growth, lucrative employment opportunities, poverty alleviation, and important source of tax revenue generation across the mineral wealth regions in Ghana. The onus lies on the government to act, as the nation loses a minimum of $250 million each year from the artisanal and small-scale mining sector. Where Solomon Owusu, PhD, or a mining consultant, Colorado, US of A, on this article published on modernghana.com in the year 2022. The article is titled Galamsey, 14 regions devastated by illegal mining activities. Dr. Solomon Owusu reveals to government, and Mabobo 14 regions. And so any the specific towns in those regions are ASM activities, Ekoso, Ewo. But the question then arises, for all these proposals are academics, mining experts, they are proposing. It seems we've implemented all of them, because I remember say soldier for and young for munko in room in Suoswa, the soldier for Aqua, and it started from the Muhammad regime. I mean, Kaisa and the Inus of Husseini, or Muyebi, Muhammad Yariga time, or Muyebi, and Abai we so Ebabetua, soldier for ne police for. In fact, we heard reports from Erastus reports that soldier for ne ended up protecting illegal miners. Now, allegedly, BG scammer man for eco room, eco mining. That has been tried a failure. Police for Aqua Anye. We've tried technology. In fact, you the Galam stop, buy. You the drones, buy. You the apps, buy. And you say chip be the bebo excavators, nina technology, ye nina amfa. Nansaya Operation Halt, amfa. Minerals Commissioner Kotor speedboats, editor, pra, any and cobra so. In who the aquacusi. Champagne, baby. Enti, baby, I do know. I don't know what other measures and also bind the gu akwemu. It's a conversation and me panelist ABD, and then we know what can be done immediately because the state of your river bodies no terrible. And now a justice of the Court of Appeal, enemy Edin Komo. Now he tried to also proffer some suggestions in an article I will try and check. It will be polymechain. It will show you some obia atibi. He makes the point, say every land, in fact, Ghana and ye need ownerless land ever Ghana. Ye need assassin because assassin with the new obia dia ebinio. In fact, Professor Kluje Monet, all those academics actually extensively on that. The concept of ownerless land, it doesn't exist in Ghana. In the assasibia ura. Mind you, say the laws of Ghana, especially the far abatement, are very wide in scope because they are both indirect and direct. It is asasibia ura there, asasibia illegal mining Ekosiisen eobidia, and sandipan. And mind you, say when you the abatement charge a boa, we don't need to find the real person or a crime, no. You the abator no can be charged and prosecuted separately. Whether we know it is a many Atika. Say Atik ne edi bone na me na me boa na Atik di bone na. Say yenchi Atik kura onu odi bone yenchi na yetimi tseme. As an abator no ede charge no bomb me prosecute me em yedimi tum complete. It's allowed. Enti na sema okay nyina say asase bia wo wura de a omo asase ne ye omo dia can be charged for abatement. But ye wasase ne ye illegal mining e was and number 1. It is a two land that ye ni mo hene no. Ohene can be charged for abatement because ye wasase. Say a family land that ye ni mo hene no. Say a state land aban. Say and all the other interest in land. Into ye were several interests. By a day you will be there. It is handy party can be charged for abatement. One way, in fact, a good way to start. A very effective way to start. Number 2, NSA say ebase amanfo because I don't understand why. Say as associates the empo na din say yebesia no insuo mu de ne de adabraka. Insuo mu de ne nko ade. There is no reason why it should be happening. And I think, sir, he makes very, very interesting pointer. Say the article neba, I will read it out here. Na obia at the role of the judiciary in this fight, and obia there was say, oh yeah, very, very important. Unim say there is even an offense, prevention of felony. Prevention of felony is a misdemeanor. For example, say. Yeah, was it prevention of felony?
If you are preventing the commission.
No. And that I think a law that allows, like it's an offense that allows the commitment of a felony.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, it allows the commitment. You, the DCE, for example, you can stop.
Justifiable.
You can stop the commitment of the felony. Misdemeanor. But then I say, what charge DCE back for that? A bit shaky system, because you control that jurisdiction. And the laws, the beautiful laws, to stop this crime. It is a wood yemia. Ebia also are drink chebia yina yenwen ho. Ubet me the message abrain na yakan the amount. Your WhatsApp number na very, very, very active. 0548 443 523 0548 443 523. Mrs. Subiu 0548 443 523. Me say Atik Mohammed Atenase sounds so and the regional chairman of the NDC Eastern region, Dr. Mark Oliver Kevo, Abekansa studio ha all the way from the Eastern region. Koforidia na se nkoko emu bako eden emu bako no ma menche o na fe na ne homra na yemfa nkomo no enhyehye so enti doka kwaba ye o microphone ye mame bibia boko Eastern region boko.
So far a bit me. Yes, odo hoto aban so.
Reminds me of Sanyum no.
I remember so. No so minion so free price so tido.
Eno e hwan no.
Your friends.
Your boss Anyum no.
Oh, special prosecutor some no ka.
Kisi Ajabe.
Special prosecutor. Also you know bet me bia.
Oh no.
Number so anoko. Number so anoko.
Enye no ntina ni ba. Be ye dwaze we na ebitina.
Nipa be ye bi.
Nipa be ye.
Wa me ye ni.
Die no be ye.
So oye di obeti.
Die no be ye.
Number so anoko.
No me bi say say.
Number so anoko. Take you stock.
Hey. Na obi a was on the case we odi kokura odi ko bia o win nti on dey wa paba.
So what citing reasons no.
Which were bogus
judicial sabotage na ho ne man.
What asema wuki.
What's on one?
About the eno kwanye your topic.
No, but
Atik peja o microphone ni mu ye.
Yeah, ho ye. Now what you say NDC.
Yeah.
17 fenena oche. Yeah, demonstration
Ben for the ADNT
for
cry.
oh yeah, so
no,
besides a part of
important.
percent
Okay.
na say unim say what to the akoso ye koye
voter exhibition and a muhu issues
I woman and when say account topic but yeah the letter ma Ghana police.
No, but say exhibition no the maintain say yes say be ya say you who issues and ya so
no dey agro ma menchiro say exhibition me nua Atik general secretary so sure exhibition bia ni ho a yenya more than 50% of the voter population ekoso mo ko check yomudin so we dem say
yes
and na your system no so anti Nigeria system na omo ye accreditation
yes
it interest so why ma media exhibition I know interest wunti to aba so there's in Nigeria they do an accreditation you go and tell them so beto aba then they accredit you so they know the padodo a on my card so beto aba so your name may be on the poll on the row but so why media accreditation I want to aba
that's a constitutional illegality
but your system will not there wouldn't say
me with the right to vote
by your system no there there's nothing like accreditation yeah accredit will be exhibition also no enye force
enye nipa bibiri na be kwa
you understand enuti no say nipa na anko check ni din na say on the day of election untimi ka say wa me check ni din ti no the right to vote no
is curtailed
kwan pia so electoral commission must make the effort to make sure say odi panel ni din wo so na ba bi o ka say o pese to aba na o no to aba
sure
so time can I say and you know if you have nipa base 250,000 na ya transfer omudin every omo chosen polling station at the akoko several polling stations
within the same constituency
no not within the same constituency across the country
in the area or Okakwe South
near yes
okay
yes
and more identifies Uncle for 250,000
yes 250,000
okay
yes
and you've sent that list to the EC
oh yes we've we've made a presentation to the EC
and the response or
you know
and almost said
yeah response papa bia
oh na the meeting was in person
you see and no na pussy guardian no there were people who went and saw say a transfer
okay
tracy you know so that one the electoral commission immediately took action on that one
okay
you understand
okay.
But what about the others
but the others
you understand
the others haven't submitted the names and evidence have they said
say sabi we mu na ye hu say ya transfer
yes
what is the extent of those unauthorized transfers and esan ye hu say electoral commission over system wo ho na amanfo timi ye unauthorized transfers
okay
now our system no ain't been detected it is very very difficult
this is strange
because every information system bia no there were 3 layers first is prevention you must first put mechanisms controls are about prevent
yes
unauthorized transfers.
Yes.
And I said, let me even broaden it, unauthorized modification of system, with data, anyone their money, voters, records, any other. You must put a mechanism to prevent this. So mechanism no a failure. You must have the next layer, a mechanism to detect. Mechanism better me who say, even though no, you prevent no, amount for yes, then a mechanism to correct. That is what a foolproof system, and I say, when I'm now going say robust system. That is what a robust system should be. But basically, the Electoral Commission no cry no. Say that pusiga. Now onya where say amount for are effective on authorized transfers.
But that is why maybe parties and some way stakeholder in this. In the parties, so they may person me who say.
So what we are calling for, because no cry no a sampling
yes.
So what we are calling for, we don't even know the extent.
The extent.
Because when we say, you catch the Electoral Commission and say, we are very progressive people. Take antagonistic posture.
Yes.
And 2 weeks to exhibition, and a near warm, so more fat register, no, provisional register, no, and buying.
Okay.
Now, to me, audited by ourselves.
Okay.
Now you problems are a womb. Now you get back to more.
Okay.
Now I won't correct it because that wasn't the first time.
Okay.
Throughout registration process.
Can I ask you a question? Were you supplied with a provisional register?
A day to and I do
a day to the
no, but
yes. And I do a day
okay. My second question.
You understand that? Then we have gone through the exhibition process. We have found that this is what has happened.
Okay. No, the question is how
no, maybe the NSA.
My question is how did they? What is the benchmark? So you must have a benchmark register.
Yes.
Against which you do the comparison.
Yes.
So original nini, but where the HRS we nani din wahana echo 2020 register number and I say what register
so let me
you
give
use
you
as
the
a benchmark
methodology. I think
that's an important.
Yeah, my sure method. So we had a 2020 register.
Okay.
Then we did a registration in 2023 ahead of the assembly elections.
Yes.
We did a registration, limited registration in 2023.
Yes.
So those records are there.
Okay.
And we have continuous registration too.
Which every registration the parties
it adds to the
are informed.
Yes.
And so you update it.
Yeah. That is what
so that's what I'm telling you. So yes.
Register.
Then we have the 2024 limited registration
exercise. Sure.
Then the EC gave the opportunity.
Okay.
Then the EC gave opportunity for transfers.
Transfers, good.
So we have the transfer records and so on.
And what you say, based on my record, a year transfer, like legitimate, genuine transfers.
Yes, we have the numbers. Number no. And now when you say a transfer in your mother polling station, you must be on what we call an absent register.
Yes.
To show say
you
will register you were free more. Now you are on a transfer register, but ubeko home friends saying register so that there's no absent register.
And your name is not also in the home register.
Your name is not also in the home. You would hear from
at the core.
At the core completely. Okay.
New polling station.
Okay. A polling station you requested for.
No, without so there's no paper trail to show because there's a process for transfer.
Yeah.
Oh, now per se a transfer. No, you go and fill a form and sign. There are no paper trails to support those transfers.
But ultimately, Atik, my question.
And again, when you say
transfers, so
that same period, that same period, Electoral Commission, for proxy.
Sure.
Obia or pese
Obi
Baby to say a chance constituency or me region. There was zero proxy. We recorded zero proxy for that period. But somebody registered by a proxy for yes.
So
and this proxy was a call.
Now
you put no papa cream name you do verification to show say even though this particular process is ignores vital control say you don't want to see biometric device na so me who say now
okay Atik Busa our question now
I have some questions via and me sure say be discussion near the kind Bamisha is in free.
Why relax or communion do?
Masa, economy no my didn't to be so relaxing. And yes, depression before. I don't pay a mental health. I'm trying to avoid the situations of depression.
The pressure, the pressure.
Yes. Questions I'm saying. Beyond the announcement by Electoral Commission, say, okay, ye BA for transfers.
Yes.
Is it a continuous process?
No, this time.
No.
Okay, so can we
because one said transfers are minimum. Maybe if the rules have changed, you know, people could keep transferring up to a certain point.
Yes.
Bank elections and nobody's allowed to. Did that arrangement happen? And now we can say, okay, so window now beyond that, no transfers.
No transfer, yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It would be strange to see, you know, transfers beyond that point.
Exactly. So there was a period for transfers.
Beyond that period,
yes.
But my question, Doc, ultimately, you as a political party, who some discrepancies. You sought for a meeting with the EC, which was granted. Yes. What did the EC tell you? Almost say go to hell.
No.
What did they say?
They have admitted the errors.
Yes.
And have committed to correct them.
They want to focus on the samples. You understand that? They want to focus on the samples now. They actually SSA.
That's evidence.
But we are saying it is widespread. And so you see, you are giving an obligation to Obia or relinquish or non ejuma because is in ejuma to produce a credible result. That's the first thing that you should understand.
That's why you are stakeholders.
And that is why we are saying, a month for your specialization is not in information system audit. There are people that is not your core mandate. That is the competency of some other people. And allow for an audit of the register. Na omo transfers were not supported by paper trails. Any friends saying a consent amount for a consent. You understand that? But even now we don't want to impugn any
ill motives.
Because for somebody can think say people would want to deliberately disenfranchise and they have been specially profiled and can make us because I thought that during the transfers we had as on the NDC for be vote NDC for be voters ID card say and those people they buy transfer because some other regions any other. So what I say, and until somebody can say, it is a deliberate
attempt
voter transfer fraud. Obi pese or the election day no be kona wudi nim. Ye be ka so okra to about pusiga. Also now what in koko tren say obeto.
But the point is I don't even want to more internal system more running register it through and which me the pay 250,000 no. Are you saying that work was not comprehensive enough?
No,
to have identified all
and
the
to give
others?
We are saying there could be some other. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can help.
Okay.
We can give pointers. You understand that? And this whole thing, Obekai Ebu Ramadan versus EC. They did not go through the whole register to identify OBBR or they have insurance card and a register. You understand that? But when the court spoke, court no can say, yanko now cover register no existing register no as a base. Now pe e kwan yon be fa so a sankrofoni nyina no ombe yo afrim. Yankasa sa kakra na.
That was a constitutional matter.
No, so do you want us to go to court?
It's a bit nuanced.
No, I'm saying do you want us to go to court first?
What would you be seeking?
Because court
what would you be seeking in court?
Maybe the court can tell you, say, the presumption of regularity works in favor of the EC. EC are in the Jumeri.
If you have any issues,
issues are.
Let them address.
Right, then we address it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If the evidence come,
yes,
this particular actions have gone on. We are uncertain the scope. That has happened. EC in the past,
speculative.
In the past, EC no. And the EC is able to ultimate for KPMG for some of haven't we done that before?
Yeah, but in the case of the EC, the KPMG, I'm not too sure.
Yes,
what I remember though, and it's under Farijan, a committee was set up
by including political parties.
A committee was set up, and we go through register. Getting an independent private audit
that's
firm,
compromising
I'm
the
not
data.
Too sure
That can't be.
I'm not too sure. Say
issue.
Oh no, what?
No, KPMG. No, your voter register is national security. No, you can give it to a third party to audit.
Just support a free for. If within the Electoral Commission they don't have the competence.
You are not for the committee, said yeah, Afarijan.
No, if the committee also have competent people on it, now political parties reps also no make me because some of, for example, me who when the buyer there were people who had been registered genuinely multiple registers and some my double multiple registration.
Sure.
You know, sure. And it was clear wrong adjudication because Odipanube say the same person, the same attire, picture no trying the same time at the same police station. So when you cross all those checks, you will know say Electoral Commission no system no na error.
No, but see, Electoral Commissions, the system they're running now, no, it has the capacity to detect multiple registrations.
Yes,
you don't even need a committee to do that.
No, after deduplication, it goes through adjudication because the Electoral Commission, like I said, I agree, say a machine, it can make errors in doing the deduplication.
Doc, my meaning come away, Emrasi, Anafi, and Twaso. Ekosiisen, higher Sempa FM. On the earlier conversation we had about Galamsey, near the one of the associations, credible associations, a issue statement, the Ghana Medical Association, because of the attendant consequences, no, and also the recent documentary, Erasto say, a man for pregnant women from mining communities, deformity in children, and debris. And Professor Ernest York, a vice president at the Ghana Medical Association, Prof. Ekosiisen near Moakwa, Bibi Aboko.
Nyamiadum eboko so nyeboko Galamsey nsem they're dying now.
Yeah, I can see that. Immediately, as Ghana Medical Association, and then a more say ebesi immediately.
But that will be anyway taking and it will be so yes, there has to be an immediate suspension of all small-scale mining, be it legal or illegal. Now, since I can't say, as associations, what we've been doing in the past, press statements, press releases. In fact, Ghana Medical Association have organized a public lecture on Galamsey the effect many years ago. We have even had a annual dinner conference fully dedicated to the unwanted effects of Galamsey. All the stakeholders were there. But beyond that, we've engaged, publicly and also covertly or condensely, just to make home the point and to put pressure and also advocate that this is destroying the environment and destroying the fabric of business. They must see. But we were now will be a advance. I did not just say, it's getting out of hand. The forest is being destroyed. The water bodies, everybody is aware. I'm sure all your listeners today, most people do not drink tap water as we speak. We are all drinking sachet water. How we been sure this sachet water is quite safe? We are importing water. I have a daughter in one of the schools in Central Region, whose school we contributed in buying overhead tanks for water storage. So it's only maybe interpret the water tanks now, tanks in my home. So it is home. And to say the about publication the last status. One of our members, Professor or a GMA member, the fact find this nature says, the communities, especially around where Galamsey is hard, they are living for deformed babies. The boy they will not in another instead of 5 and also come 10, maybe about 10 and on 1 or 6 on 1. So before me goes and you see many back And they found that there's a lot of concentration of these mercury and arsenic our placenta. Placenta, if you can correct me, that is where things leave the mother and go to the child, or not unborn baby, or the fetus. And so it means that it's the mother that is transferring that to the child. And it's causing a lot of mayhem. No, there's a lot of skin diseases. I think it is time that we cannot look on. We cannot be passengers. We cannot be standing by and just look on. We need to take a decisive action as a nation. That is why a DMA partnered all these associations and unions to help there. A lot of it is social, a lot of it is economic, but most of it is health and health related.
Yeah.
So let's show leadership and then let the Ghanaians know. And we're calling on the high and mighty, especially the presidency who wields ultimate power. Yeah, ordinary citizens. What we have is sovereignty. But ultimately the power is with the president and the governing group.
Yeah, but that power, others would argue, say, we've been on this road before. I mean, banning all forms of small-scale mining. I mean, for close to a year or two, small scale was banned completely in our country and solve a problem. Why do you think it can solve it now, Aden?
Okay. So I said on one of your sister platforms over the weekend, said, if you are going somewhere and you need to change direction, you ought to stop. You can't be driving forward and you want to reverse. You need to stop before you reverse. And so that is where we are coming from. You see, there was a lot of evidence that has been shown that even those with the legal licenses, so they are also pillaging the environment. And so a new conversation must start, a new initiative must start. Look, Duma doesn't mean we should give up. And that would mean that this nation, there's an existential threat. Our very existence is in question. No. That is why there's leadership. A year to an extent. But why did we go back? It's because, one, we reinstated the licenses and we know the official complexities in this. And I'm not sure I want to be the one to belabor those points. We know that there's official complexity. That is the bane, so there has to be a new conversation. But before that conversation can happen, we have to put a moratorium on small-scale mining, whether legal or illegal. Then we can have the conversation. What do we do next? How do we make sure that those involved, we are able to take care of them in other ways? What about alternative livelihoods? What are the ideas that people have? Non-partisan way. Let's all meet and decide. Because you see, this part we've taken, NSA for, it is not sustainable. Cocoa production has already dwindled. They won't admit publicly.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that a large part of it is because of Galamsey. So they have earlier, but the next year we do them. So please, it didn't work. There are new ideas that can be brought forward to make sure that going forward, it is sustainable, even if we have to come back after stopping for a while.
Wow, Doc, in community, I think largely what capture more point in this short time. Am I? That's papa. Bibiania will come back. They are saying about being community. Yes.
Just give me 30 seconds.
Okay, that's fine.
And I'm speaking to my colleague in the labor union and then the association across the country. GM and other health workers are taking the lead. And we are waiting on CEC. We are waiting on the bar association. We are waiting for everybody. Send me a fire fast so we stop the snake sale near Adeno. It's the same way there's a way. Look, let's put pressure. And we can do it. It's doable because the future of this country is at stake. And the young ones, please get involved. Mobilize on social media and let's see how we can save this nation. Otherwise, you and I, our children's children, would blame us. Number 2 was just I said we have failed them, and I don't think I want to be part of the failure. I have young children I'm looking after. No passing adults, you know, and all of us, including those of you in the media. I think that what we do is say the media is involved. But I like the sustaining you know, of the pressure over the past few weeks. I think multimedia as Empower, you know, you have been at the forefront of this, and kudos to you. Let's continue. All the SPSOs in Galamsey, please, let's come together to make sure that we save this nation.
Doctor, that's it. Bibi any ebesia di nkomobio.
No, we that's it.
Professor Ernest York, Vice President, Ghana Medical Association, they are calling for an immediate ban on all forms of small-scale mining, be it legal or and none of them calling. They are calling on all sister associations, including the Trades Union Congress, to also join the Ghana Bar Association, all other civil society organizations to join. Already so for ni be adjoin ya voices ni be amamwate ewie, and there is a lot to talk about. Oh, adjointra won so far the ebra, maybe your voice would make that difference. Yeah, WhatsApp number very active. It is for adjointra and for so MIN 0548 443 523 0548 443 523. Odo message ne by kind amount. Honorable Kwesi Akwase Obi, I'm on my way. I will be there soon to correct chairman's false allegations against me on the EC voters card. No. But I would have that conversation when he joins. Atik, my main comrade for me shall say why.
Okay, all right.
My main comrade.
Okay,
Yeah.
No
me ba me do be sha se me hu se o nsem kai fa Galamsey nsem no. Okay. Enti me ba and I register. Sure. And you would have that conversation after this very, very short break. Montwen ye ba sisia. Mpa 94.7 FM Ekosiisen dwumedi no wasuguso a otie no ma yena mu nyina ase ne yema makwaba ensan fa momra Ekosiisen so make say ade a abedwafo ni nyina atena se moate Dr. Mark Oliver Kevon Kadada ono ye regional chairman ma NDC wo Eastern region, moate Atik Mohammed enka all the way from the Republic of Gambaga, or ye executive director Emma Mazda Martinenka. Sounds so na kasi deputy health minister, member of parliament for the Achimdan constituency, honorable Kwesi Akwa and Swabe Cancer e studio ha ye behwe na yetimi edi enkomo Atik bekasana ansana no it was a honorable 2 minutes to respond to allegation Mark Oliver Kevo at the airborne, and then I come to Atik. Yes, honorable Akwa better saying
Obi be that say na me woda na me tiso kasa no be do so it should tell you ya kwai no.
Oh, okay.
Ya kwai no
dem.
Oh, aba so na traffic aka but you do baby ya wie no.
Yes.
2-3 lane no.
Dem sir.
Obi be that say be chairman yan mo ha.
Yes.
Da yi chabe ba na tie say chairman kasa chairman papa ne to sa Mr. Region. Kakra de kura no ye age feeding some. Oh, ye age.
Eastern region more seat saying
8
and I'm more saying
25.
okay.
But Krobo land le ba ka ho. Ye age Krobo.
Mo ji Krobo.
Ye age Krobo. Na from place.
Lower menya Krobo, upper menya Krobo.
Masa ko hedwuma ekoso wo ho. Obi ko hedwuma ekoso wo ho.
The honorable Oklite tell abi na swan.
Omo hopo. Fe na me say nanse omo ba me ho.
Oda.
Omo ba oda na general chairman ene chairman papa. Be to Oliver is smart.
Oh, okay.
Omo ba ye no. And I general akasa video bi anya o say. Obi chere nana. Oh, see ade yo. Hey, me he ba ko so
de ba me aswevo no.
No ni town. At the time about me call ho no. Na o see ade yo. Ku ba he. Do ko takrade.
Okay.
Enti ye kokotu ba he ma ho.
Okay.
The paramount queen mother ni kochia no.
Okay.
But before that no, na Baumia the candidate we share ahemfu nyina ewo Kufodia.
Oya the original tour no.
Oya the original tour no.
Okay.
It was a sachet from Eastern region. It is na kutuku man hendi ada himfu na ebehia no ho. Na ye nyai ko chia no ya ewo ho nyina no me no ponkroma ada impisa ho nyina edi eche no ekokochia no. Enti no oni ahimfu na di nkomo. Enti wo mu a wo mu hihye omo niema no ye the visit your call 2 days 3 hour visit no. Wo hwe na se sabre wo anya kwan no him any command now the beka wana na ka ho yen ye ko hin ho by 10 years we tu kwan da no ne se ne de beka kotoku man oba him ho and we did that and omunya fruitful discussion e jado na mo be politics there but chia no o se ade yo wow na so wa wunim e be fia be din komo e boko
constituency level politics they interesting
him fia mo so ma ko for the general for kakrebi the nipa for be say yi and no general you don't say campaign mu ye mate say mo ye no aye bia hwe campaign mu ye bia hwe da bi mo sori waka na meja na baba he me baba je akonya no o kai na me nipa PC no no han say general akonya be da baba je o da akonya no o da say o say aye bia hwe na chese o da no go area and why you call Fale, we've declared 90%
for order
obi yentunchia so we are doing it 90%. Now also Okase Mejeje and go for
ID
card before loans there be some special intervention be a menya me dey boy dwadefo na send ye be ya send ye be ya me hu say me constituents tell me I think send ye be ya me hu say me constituents and benefiting now we dey card abechre now we dey Ghana card
now when Ghana card
the Ghana card will not let me know whether they are my constituents or not me ya my constituents
the districts.
No, so voters ID card, polling station number. No,
that is it. So I must.
But the point is, Ghana
card. What the
bet?
What the bet? They register.
When you from?
There
was a coordinator.
But doc, nipa ya the allegation you on.
What the bet?
Coordinator no one a number. You bet my friend.
There was one allegation say one you be but one of say oji eni mo manfa go.
Yeah.
What the bet? They are register. Near Chessica,
but media, me one say, Sisia, so wohwe yemra de ye djuma yemra establish a Ghana card na e kire nneoma bebre utimi de e si a wo pese o certify obi identity as a Ghanaian Ghana card
but for me no
the voters ID card ni be mu ana ma
for the constituency. Because on say we are joining constituencies.
Yes.
Ejuma ye bonti we heada be a benefit bi no be fi other
constituencies na okra Ghana card.
Aye hunu se ayampa oto aba e wo achim dan. Say dey album no wo constituencies di ma manage achim dan. E do the be kira
only during that time registration.
O do be kira obi o do be kira o da be starting nyene. You starting nyene.
That was the time.
Da be you starting nyene. O do be kira ni atwero o details.
They didn't send the people there with their all they needed was their voter ID number. That is all they needed to do those illegal transfers now.
But you go Ghana card, that's right, to not tell you where you will be voting. It is only the voters card next say no polling station number.
But the records be where you
can
vote.
Show residence.
Which one?
And all that.
Must it be where you vote?
That is an intervention for my constituents.
You should be his constituent.
And American Ghana card. So where it is issued, you can tell.
Sure. Sure.
And Tianvan say it was issued in order.
Yes.
You should easily tell you.
But if you want to about that,
yes. You don't vote there.
Yes.
You are not a registered voter there.
Me yama me constituents omo to about. Oh.
Because
Atik juma chema mumra munya juma musia groni die na munya tete bo se mo kwa yi demonstration chema obi eni adaje o. Obi eni adaje no wakosa demonstration. Ghana for we have come to a point ye do pempenso bi a ye hunu say ade no asset agro no esi. Oh, obi I ready baby ba ko to bia no ko to akọ nyam demonstration mun da ko wagro dia and now they say referee.
Okay. Mate mamintie Atik and then I'll come back to you on the substantive matter ba Krobia Asante in charge of social media communications for the Baumia campaign Osi Obi, the Eastern Regional Chairman, is just doing a fishing expedition. The Abu Ramadan case was specific and was for only people with NHIA card and not all those who registered. He should stop the generalistic argument.
Galamsey.
Oh.
We want to Abraham Hinfi, or much in the
No, be any Hakwana. Why a mistake? Only a deputy communications director.
Did they say?
Honestly, a Crobia. Benye we are.
Crobia better
or deputy director of communications for the MPP.
For the MPP.
Yeah, anyway. We were Jubilee, we office of the vice
president.
Because
Galamsey assembly came.
Then I said, now so who the Galamsey a criminal way, who the Bo Bisa.
Oh, but you see this is for the Galamsey. That is for the Galamsey. No,
Abraham Hinfi.
Na say you be the dia. You be the dia.
Wajetum.
Said ye.
I saw Galamsey. Videos and pictures in our house.
And this for the Galamsey you.
Montomo. Atik. Atik
let me start from maybe okay text message.
Yes.
I was just going to make a similar point. The issue of Abu Ramadan and the Electoral Commission. Now it was a constitutional matter.
Yeah.
It was a matter that involved the determination of nationality and citizenship, as a matter of fact. Say, not citizenship, I think it was nationality. Say, Nipani Ghana, who is a Ghanaian. And you didn't even need, you just needed one person to show, say, Nipai, the NHS card, a register man. And that is all you needed. You didn't need preponderance of evidence. That is just what you needed. So you can proceed to demand from the court, say, make it a determination. But as I is nuanced debate. It's a bit different. As I say, you are making a claim, say, Uncrophobia bear 250,000 according to you. Or my unauthorized, I like the word illegal transfer.
Sure.
Now, question Amibisan is there. Near Mutimidi and Huadans Yadikodan Electoral Commission, according to your Mujitumu, and took steps to effect the corrections.
Yes. That they would effect.
That they would effect.
They've effected some.
And that they
would effect the rest, sure.
Now, if you have over 250,000, what stops you from sharing that with the Electoral Commission? Electoral Commission, for I'm sure they also need to do their own work to find out that indeed, they're okay.
Yeah.
But your argument is that the fact that you have found that according to you, yet to be confirmed by the Electoral Commission, because so far you are alleging, said this is what you found. The Electoral Commission hasn't authenticated your finding.
Sure.
What must here? It could well be said, maybe there's an explanation that probably would defeat whatever you think is the situation. But Omunyan grantee that claim. And even sample, let's even say the Electoral Commission ajatum. Your claim is the fact say the entire register is riddled with possible illegal transfers. And I think yes, Anna, we can never have a register. Because at every point in time, how do you expect what are you expecting the Electoral Commission to do? Say they should use your methodology and
hand over the register to an independent audit agency.
No, that's our data. You can't do that.
To audit it.
No, that you can't do that.
And they've suggested KPMG.
No, that you can't do that. Look, the electoral register is a national security document too. You are consigning look this asset to a third party. What are you talking about?
Which register?
Sir, the Electoral Commission register, electoral register, no.
The voters register.
About the database.
No, I'm talking about the register. What I'm talking about. It's data.
The register has been given to
political party.
Political party, publicly exhibited.
No, maybe.
So which aspect of the data are you talking about?
Okay. When you have to be clear on that. I'm talking about the register. The voters register now, provisional now.
Yes.
You claim you've done some auditing of the register. And American, you hand it over to KPMG to audit your register. I don't think it's
the reason
why they are giving
the thing is already a public document.
KPMG is not public, so it's restricted access.
So the political parties cannot give it to a third party without consent.
You won't get it. They are giving it to political parties because you are stakeholders. Bisa say even you can my Electoral Commission you won't get it. A WOMSA is public, but it's restricted. The access is restricted.
Even under the right to information act, under the exceptions.
Exactly.
National security considerations.
You understand? The reason why I had Mamono because the recognition is that you are part of the process and transparency is key to a successful process. Anka in here say Anka Munsanka, but because they need to build confidence, I mean everybody need to build confidence in the process and in the register. Intina ya yedi ma you can say
Atik, in that same vein, if the commission decides to go the way Afarijan and Charlotte went, now almost set a committee, that committee becomes a third party.
No, it's always committee by political parties. It's never been allowed. They've never done it including third parties. Political parties now and electoral commission for now forms our committee. No. Ask
to vet the.
I've been my quiet pack for ages. What you say? Usually they just set it up now more
parties. No.
It's even at IPAC you make the suggestions. Assume it's in representing. So what they usually do is that MPP would have a rep, NDC would have the third parties.
CSOs,
CSOs involved in elections. So
CSO be
who has been very actively involved in electoral processes. What is here? And you just choose now. And one never make a determination. Then they form the committee there. And you are going to give this to a third party. Look, it's a serious matter. But my issue is somewhere in your evidence, why don't you share the evidence with the Electoral Commission? But the argument is that in their view, because they found some
250,000, no,
not just
they hold the view that the scope might be wider.
You see, when you are doing research now, when your data, mostly secondary data, now maybe portions of the data were issues. You clean those portions. You don't say the entire data is faulty.
You can't also assume say the
entire data is right.
The invalidity is only with the sample now. Why am I? So you can't.
The challenge is here.
You see, when you are doing research, you can't have the entire population to study. You can't study the entire population. That's why you deal with sample. And the sample data now, if there are issues with portions of it, you clean the portions that are not clean. You can't say
unsampled.
The point I wanted to make is that even if you put research in common in China, the challenge now is because of the presumption of regularity, the burden of proof is now on you,
the NDC.
The evidence among is that the AC can say, okay, based on more evidence, no, we are correcting 250,000 away. And if you think that there is more, Fabra, you have to provide that evidence. That's the challenge.
But you see, it remains to even be seen. Say the so-called 250,000. Would the evidence are called?
Oh, sure. At the meeting, it was presented.
No, there's a difference.
Okay, it's
presenting
true.
The facts.
A PowerPoint presentation.
Any hardcore evidence. Is that what you sent? What is here?
Yeah.
And now your assumption is that you've done your analysis, and this is what you found. Easy and should take steps to find the 250,000 and then go ahead to do the corrections.
That would be
that is the feeling I'm getting, and that would be, in fact, it wouldn't be a joke. The Electoral Commission would have to suspend everything and focus just on that. In American, if you find BB evidentiary enough, submit it to the Electoral Commission.
In the 250,000 list.
This is how we came by 8. Like, and I was asking him, what was the benchmark register? And I say, they took
so the previous register.
A, B, C, D, NA, provisional when we did the matching, not a match. So this is how we came by 250,000 evidence in here. Then they take steps to do that. But to just come and do a presentation and give me a figure, say we are estimating 250,000 names have been illegally transferred. It becomes a bit I am all for a listening EC because at the end of the day, young wage man on way, and they are working for the stakeholders and for the rest of us Ghanaians. What you say? And Timunya Bibia, my advocacy is that the Electoral Commission should listen to you, and I think there if you find anything evidentiary, do not hesitate to share it with them. Then the issue would have us to contend with. Because the process is for us, it's not for them. What is here? But in the absence of any hardcore evidence, and you are working on estimations and assumptions, it becomes difficult to say the Electoral Commission and to say If you are seeing, it's very funny. This world is very funny. Look, we are back. This is déjà vu situation for me.
Déjà vu.
It's a déjà vu situation for me.
Yeah, who be that?
Gabi Muni.
Let my vote count.
They were doing the same thing. I disagree with them on this idea of auditing the register. They didn't understand why I was saying that we don't need to audit the register at the time. No, I'm saying, look, what are you auditing?
Mm-hmm.
The facts are about say Electoral Commission register no what is the basis? I spoke against the idea of auditing the register. In fact, some even went as far as at the time say new register. LMC wasn't necessary at the time. And now we are back to the same thing now. Say register. Look, and what was 2020 elections? Register I declare, it was about the most credible we've ever had. And to building on it, of course there would be challenges. But now there are some near it is assuming that the entire register is bogus. That's the assumption. Because if we are saying say 250,000 a year, let's just say be commodity and let's just the entire register. What is here? And what would be the next call? Throw away the register. Let's do a new one. And we'll be moving about in circles. No, we see that's where the conversation is headed. We'll be moving about in circles. The way I didn't support the idea of doing a new register in 2015, no. And say it's the same way I'm looking at this. In the absence of hardcore evidence, I'm not saying the Electoral Commission they make mistakes. What you say? When they make mistakes, we call them out and we show them the evidence. And we await their action. So then we will deal with them. Because look, Electoral Commission is just a referee. Processes in yen Ghana you ejina yenina yeso. Until my Electoral Commission embe seeing the process up. So if there is something hardcore, but to demand say you are assuming say this is the problem. Yema third party mbeye. Then they'll find the evidence. I think is putting the cart before the horse.
Before that.
Yemfa evidence no emfanshiawom. Then we demand say, look, nyomudi abani, go through it. Mujituma, then do the necessary corrections before you give us the final register. If Omanya, then we don't say, look, something is amiss.
Yeah, and I want us to finish with Isin Komoi, and then we come to the illegal mining. Yes, but on exhibition 10 out, I'm getting information say in 2004 turnout 18%, 2008 34.7%, 2012 63.5%, 2016 45.7%, 2020 46.8%.
The last one.
So there's just one outlier. So generally,
which is 2012.
Less than 50. So generally, less than 50, like I said. So you see, we must understand, say, abattoir, and the right to vote, and then near I was say all the processes are a my they share Obinsa Electoral Commission.
Yes,
the Electoral Commission should not be there and say the smartest person should win an election. You understand that?
Yes.
The Electoral Commission should not be there and say, "Wow, we are smart. I'll bet my manipulating me. Who cry me the made. Wow, we are smart. No, so we are smart now. The body and my young wejuma. So why are smart? Now say Oyonko a good fast so there because it is not just about the young political parties. No, so that can I say it is not just about NDC any MPP. There are people who also vote for other political parties. And don't you know the right to vote? No. Should not be protected only by political parties. A Electoral Commission no duty with Juma Ekosiisen
as an independent constitutional body.
And you know, if Obi et me establish a vulnerability, what Electoral Commission you should even be interested. As there is this particular vulnerability, this particular weakness from the system no more. Amount for I exploit it. And not to me Electoral Commission, I should be interested in the extent of exploitation. Only pan I exploit is our vulnerability. Now, what are the vulnerabilities? ye de yet ho ye feel say electoral commission no ye di ne mra so o ka se sabre we na kwakwa kotro din a ye nyina stakeholders ye di so sabre we na ye open for transfers ye nyina ye di so with the hope and trust in the electoral commission say oh ye na adwuma ye to protect everybody. Now if beyond that ye behu say there are processes electoral commission, and that's why sometimes I'm uncomfortable when the electoral commission at the top takes a defensive position. Because one would take esro, even though you have ultimate responsibility. Nipa bebre wo form wa mo ye adwuma ma wa, there's a principal agent relationship. Nipa bebre wo form wa omo ye adwuma na, their motivation
might be different.
Some may be economic, obi na betua sika, onfa ho ne obekotwa abanama no, eso onye bibi ma no. Some may be political, ebi o ye NDC na say MPP ni no ofom ho no ye. Onfa war friends and so called east na wa kra na. O no te ho say we have a robust system, no. And notice say you draw attention as stakeholders. As a illegal transfers akoso.
Yes.
I call it voter transfer fraud. Obi at me a transfer Nkrofo without some Nkrofo consent. There were even about 15,000. You can't even trace the transfer path. You register omo and oma transfer omo about some friends saying they are recorded as transfer people, but you can't even trace their mother police stations. Yes, omo their basa police new police stations or as transfer. These are all issues aba. With this vulnerability, no, what electoral commission, no, even say nipa bakope, and you find out say your timia transfer and the deal without a consent, the electoral commission should be interested. I said this is a hole obi exploited. Then it puts doubt on the integrity of
the register. Indeed, you are saying, say, even if
it will let
they are able to correct the 250,000 plus the 15,000,
the electoral commission should be interested in the scope and extent of this illegal fraud now, this illegal transfers now. You should be interested. And for now, the electoral commission tells me say their system is not self-healing. Their system is not self-detection. Omakasa and detect it until an external person prompts them. SM system no and detect it illegalities are a and that is dangerous for us. And it is dangerous for our democracy. Two, na mini Atik kase register na kasa a security document. I disagree. The register no you can electoral data na in multiple stages. You were a beer electoral commission no at the babontin. You will be a electoral commission no a keepu. For example, our biometric templates are stored in electoral commission. I know they my parties it will be register electoral commission at the parties now. Udin organizing into region, constituency, electoral area, polling station. Now, Udin any voters ID number. Then, based on the voters ID number, no, you can find out as a Nipano or a polling station where now belonging to or not. So that record is there. Biometric templates, I don't know, they are kept under strict data protection regulations. Those ones, nobody is saying, Obi Koko release those ones. But for example, when you want to, every process and every electoral process must be auditable. For transparency and accountability sake, electoral process must be auditable. You must be able to trace processes and say why na yes I deal with why there must be an audit trail. And no and I say o course o kwakoye transfer o fill a form. So there must be a paper trail. Those things I think won't mean can say no more security documents. And notice Obika said
the register I'm talking
yes,
about.
Yes, Obika said yes. So all those processes must be auditable. And it's Obika said ya transfer friends nipa 1,000 honorable said that or more will loan on your money. Obika said what transfer nipa 1,000 free or that now odomo aba and kokoa. We must have the transfer paper trail to support us. Some
people requested for
yes.
the transfer.
This is any idea. Me did say idea. And it is for we are talking about building confidence, building. I'm for peace. You must sign peace part. No one their money. So we yes and way na French obiani tia. Or as soon as in as a transfer no. Ya reverse transfer no. We transfer no de papa ampa eko and no their money ade. E ban say na chance obi anye proxy. Also e buy there's a list of proxy e wo ho. Nidi Nkofo din wo so as proxy. But when we are able to correct all those things. Now call election when I say why never be.
But doc, do you also know sir, despite the legitimate concerns I'm raising?
Yeah.
You tell us more evidence backing the 250,000 names. No, as to say whether evidence number easy or not, that we don't know, and you've not confirmed that to us. But assuming some of this 250,000 number easy, now easy dealing with some we transparently, we're dealing with it. Now because still I won't share the scope. You are sending them on a fishing expedition.
When we went to the EC,
yes,
we told them say we have evidence to show say. Illegal transfers has gone on.
Sure.
There are missing names and all that.
Yeah.
And nothing in the interest of Onono is, an independent audit. We didn't just go and say numbers are
but that's even worse.
That's not what we are saying.
That's even worse. I'm looking at who evidence at church say it was say audited register now.
Yeah.
On what basis?
On the basis of Kakana Yahuno. On the basis of which means our system and robust as you think, it is exploitable. It is obvious to me. I want more than area 5 near chest 5 now, and then I just said, Obi, we are 100 and 1,000.
Let me play
the list.
What are you afraid of?
The scope of that is all about it.
Yes.
It is even possible.
That's all
it is even possible.
So share the evidence.
I'm saying, sir, it is even possible.
Yes.
It is even possible.
Maybe some.
Then we end there. It helps everybody.
But to start with,
so what are you afraid
do the
of?
auditor, what if the EC tells you, say, okay, with the evidence in the youngers will go through our systems. They know how it works. They know the trail from beginning
and do
to
the audit themselves.
Now, will you be okay?
But that'll be a judge in your own.
Exactly. Now, you are unable to detect. You are unable to detect those things have been.
But the Americans say to engender confidence. You don't expect the EC.
No, it could be genuine error. Look, we are assuming that the Electoral Commission is in on this, as he likes to call it, transfer fraud. We are assuming that they are in on this. It could well be say some technical errors.
When you say EC now, you see that's the mistake I was drawing our attention to. So maybe you are looking at James.
No, I'm talking about the corporate body, the body corporate.
But somebody, an EC official,
it is still EC now,
has been indicted.
So who answers for that?
So yes, ultimate responsibility. That is
absolutely. So it is still the EC now.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that
whether a Jinmensa or a
so what I'm saying is that if it's a matter of cost, if it's a matter of cost.
I don't think it will be an issue because
I'm not sure it's an issue of cost.
So what is the problem?
But when him say CCI who's the only me my who say 250,000 list in the EC Munsom.
No, we gave them samples.
No, when it says of 250,000.
Of course, if you are doing a presentation, you present samples. Say, for example, this I don't want their money.
You see, if the 250,000 because it's the anticipated total, Muka was but you are saying, even 250,000 beyond Enunukra, there may be more. So give them the 250,000. Let them deal with it and look at Niem Bayern.
You want to even know whether the EC itself has the capabilities to detect so be yes illegalities now. That is one. And until the list of them corrections with. That's not what we are saying. We are telling them say there are vulnerabilities within our system now. officers ni be are exploited.
But how would they agree to that claim? Said they have vulnerability.
We have shown them.
We've not shown BB.
No, we showed them.
Gave them
that's why I told you.
Samples.
That's why. Oh, you said that's why I told you. Said. That's why I.
Anyway,
that's why I said even if it was just one, even though I've told you say one, I've told you more than 250,000. There are instances 15,000. You can't even trace their mother police station and no one their money. I've told you it's not just one. But even if it was one,
you want to quit Abu Ramadan case?
No, you should be interested.
Well, that's fair.
And on Abu Ramadan case, one call for citizenship determination.
No,
you say you declare register and say invalid because nipa bia say omudin will register. No, go and look at the reliefs. I'm looking at
those who use NHIS card to register.
Go and look at the
invalid registration, so they should get them out.
Yes,
that the register was invalid.
Yes, the register was invalid. It didn't declare.
They granted his relief, yet we still use the same register.
No, because of judgment, on my caveat. I say instead of going to do an entire new register, they should start with the
deleting
existing register and do it. So we are also saying, say, illegalities has gone on this particular register.
We have not even established that well enough, Mpo.
Oh, yeah,
because you keep saying
there is subtle admission. There's subtle admission
now, when we are
by
getting
the EC itself.
These are judgment calls.
No, I'm saying, say, Electoral Commission, Ajiatum. Electoral Commissioner Ajetum. I'm giving you the issue of the Pusika case.
Okay.
On you to say I'm permanent for illegal transfer.
But there's not an issue of entire vulnerability of the system.
I'm dealing with Pusika and they've dealt with it.
Pusika, they have sanctioned the officer and they
are dealing with it.
They will deal with it. Yes.
Obi,
please.
Technology will wait.
Yeah.
You see, technology is still manned by man.
Sure. That is it. So that's what the human social technical. Robots. So just say robots. No one say nipa juma no more. So just I think what happen ya can say. Robots. I'm sorry ya see robots. The integrity is intact and no one they should stop saying those things. So just say na and someone ya can draw attention to. They should deal with it.
My uncle Galamsey.
Mamintie honorable on NDC calls.
Obi. Your friend of much ado about that thing. Because one, they be no mekase. Se unyama swa now the show keshiri. Yenim say easy a human institution. It will unyin ni say and answer untimi nkase. Bibia mo be no a crojing. And a young political parties will have a major stake in whatever they do. Omajuma ye nano e fire ho. And untinu say omo ye adwuma ye fie ni na ya hwe what is there. So they be at least at the end of the day no ye na be tiase say adwuma bi omo die bia no e ade e be boa ye nso ye hihye wo da yadim e ya bato no.
Sure.
But ye nua no mu ss o mahunu eno no omo person digina so. Yes, register no ne ho said the adi nyina no enu nti yenye sa demonstration national demonstration dey ade no ana make say frustration
always
frustration omo frustrated omo hwe campaign no say ne ekọ no aye ohaw bia ma wo mo nti no wo mo akase wo mo pekwan bi so na omo si montene so na media adumba bi so say ye hwe oma declare so mo be ye yin ni say bibi sa na moto amutuo no ebe ma easy hihye na mo pese mo ye no akona nim ana say edo na be because say ade a ye hunu bibi e pese easy no e correct na boa ye nyina no a kasa o da say kasa na we ya ma fan on a national scale say yenye demonstration through Ghana no mo ni ade yentwa manfo adwen koso ni ade no ye bompa ye say dano no do December 7th to abadi wie ade on the 8th my birthday former President Akufo-Addo's birthday na ye kinkan no ye di ahurusi a o ma hwa me ahwe no ma meka say registered 14 woman into
not get there.
Yes, into yes, when Kobu ha ye bedie, but enye se musi montene so no and a baby bibi. No, at this point no, obi any other je, any other just how. mo de mo wadaje because sabe mo campaign am ye nyina no yente ne mo kakura yente ne mo kakura mo ni issues bia no matter you are not running an issue based campaign it's way opportunity bia ma mo a person dey sim mountain so yeah the any time we want to go to Ghanaians ye pese ye chire Ghana for ye timopo and ye presidential candidate Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia they see the so our person de beboa Ghana and the various pieces are in file Akufo-Addo mu a ya ready near it no enya kasa bebre wo ho demonstration no mo so obode call na me ha me say hu ni mfa so
omo ye no in all regions at a go.
No, but demonstration
almost over what they are
to what end?
Say
to what end?
To force the EC to do
to
do right by them.
You are a action person.
I know.
And you are asking,
no, not the essence of demonstration, but this particular one. You want
what's the end game?
What's the end game? Because mo pese EC for a year, BB.
Yes.
You want them to take a particular action.
Yes.
Now, me, in my view, engaging them would probably yield better results than this. Because at the end of the day,
but we have gone through that.
No.
So what's the essence of this?
Yes, so you go back.
No.
We are engaging.
No.
We are not satisfied. The responses they are giving does not suggest
so share with us in the first share with us their responses.
You know.
And yes, sir, Oba Hanu.
Pusika they are okay. Me I don't speak for EC, but Pusika they are okay. I mean, what can't I just say? The officer has been sanctioned.
Citizens,
no, only me can say. Even share with us. Only say. Edium Potina easy for Kachremo.
Yeah.
Share with us their responses. What you must say. But I say we are not clear on what they told them
and whether or not they've submitted evidence.
No one. My view is that
EC has said they will not allow the audit.
They told you point blank.
Yes.
They will not allow the audit based on what you showed them.
Is that
based on what you showed them and now they beat the cry?
They said they will not allow.
Even the demands no ela yisi say ompre.
You have yes or you see.
What does here? Because Momo yes audit.
To our next step.
No, but say easy soon to me my blanket meme.
Momo say
said they beat the cry.
I say Enuti na ya exhibition and to be a fully say or fairly say a friend say
issues
ya transfer ya baby no omrani enko correct. But you and I, that's why I gave the initial
percentage of
you understand
the chairman more energy bia mo fa hwepo mu krofo no mo nkonkoye more energy bia mo fa hwepo mu krofo no mo nkonkoye
so when you do like this
no munya botre de ne eyetuma munya botre the American say you confirmed earlier say based on what you showed the EC 250,000 no they were willing to do something about that. What they probably demanded, they said, the scope now will come.
Yeah.
Based on which I'm more qualified for, your friend is saying, audit no. And until they see more evidence, they will not allow that. Is that not the case?
They didn't give that caveat.
They
said they will not allow.
So it was a closed case under no circumstance.
Also, my exhibition. It's an exhibition, no, is supposed to make sure say wow say udin ayera wow say ya transfer udin wrongly any ade no corner kofele inclusion form and no one man ade.
But what you understand go exhibition kure nko hu obehu say ya transfer wrongly
is o say
na me say ni bana nko exhibition.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Say
so it should not be like
the obligation should not be on friends the partner
partly is the obligation of the citizen. However, Senipana nya, it should not close his opportunity to ever have the chance to.
No, but I mean, my way is I find it interesting. Say, on one hand, they've agreed to work on the 250,000.
Is it the 250,000 or the Pusika one?
No, the Pusika one has been dealt with. They also agreed to work on the 250,000. The evidence they showed them.
The evidence you gave them, they are willing to work on
it.
Yes, and we are saying,
you have more.
Yes,
so bring them more, let them work on.
It's just a sample. It who is, are you not interested? Say, I'm for yes.
I'm sure they're interested. That's why they are working on what you have brought.
So,
them.
Are you not interested? Say, you baby, the scope of the whole.
What if it's just? What if it's just a expedition? Would have wasted money and time.
Oh no, but
if you have evidence,
at least the integrity. That is
the
cost of integrity. That is the cost of integrity of the register. Also, if
you have evidence of the bad year, you are dealing with something tangible. Okay. But Mudia Munkoya, Abia Mubena. Now, what are you hiding?
What are you hiding?
So let's see how it goes.
Anyway,
but I think
Galamsey is
easy for no 8. Yes, in the Atik, let me start with you on that. But say, we a Go TV. We a Go TV customer. Pay attention because Go TV is your best football friend, and they have something special for you this season. On the 21st and the 22nd of September, we are making all the Premier League games available for our Go TV Plus customers and those on higher packages to enjoy. With as little as 85 Ghana cedis, experience 8 live games such as West Ham versus Chelsea, Crystal Palace versus Manchester United, Man City versus Arsenal, along with expert analysis, live match commentary, and statistics. Resubscribe on *759#, *759#, and get close to all the drama and world-class Premier League action only on Super Sports, on Go TV. And never miss a moment, whatever you are, wherever you are, with Go TV stream. Go TV, love it. And Mama Yenyina, this is a glorious opportunity for Munyina. Unimsa Energy Commission, the Ministry of Energy, in collaboration with the Ghana Education Service and Ghana TVET Service, presents the 5th edition of the Energy Commission Senior High Schools Renewable Energy Challenge. This challenge aims to develop the research skills of senior high school students and promote technological innovation in renewable energy. Competing fiercely in this thrilling competition are the following schools: Obuasi Senior High Technical School, St. James Seminary Senior High School, Ola Girls Senior High School, Ahantaman Girls Senior High School, Pando Senior High School, Dabokba Technical Institute. Dabokba. Okay.
That's in Tamale.
Oh, that's in Tamale Technical Institute. I want to join us for the grand finale on Tuesday, the 8th of October, 2024, at the Accra International Conference Center. Catch the live broadcast on Joy News at 9 a.m. This event is proudly supported by GIZ, Ashesi University, French Development Agency, VRA, and Promasidor Ghana. Media partners, Joy News. The High School Renewable Energy Challenge. Fantastic event. Itumi Eshim. Regnum Properties and so say ene ubetma to asase with a very huge discount. Horizon Gardens Gomua Akraman asase no 20,000 Ghana cedis. It's off the Accra Winneba Highway, just 5 minutes drive from the main road. Asasno Horizon Gayeka Gardens. You do say it's Chakwaya to Minsio or Kania or Bibia Kama. You will Groove Court and will Gomua Potton off the Accra Winneba Highway, just 5 minutes drive from the main road. You will Bay Villa and also Kwei Chrome on the old Winneba Road. Dodowa Amasaman Ashalaja Honina Yawan Sasiwo. Ya the plan be a friend of plan. The air can say a promotional package for a group of 10 or more members. Intimuye association, Mobro 10. Mokwa, Mosamopa, Sashi, Chasas, ni boom amamo. Each member of the association be 500 Ghana cedis every month until such a time on be Neka every year. It's a huge promo package for students, for churches, for associations, for government workers. Once you are up to 10 members or more, please, you can take advantage. Ubetim so swap your car e de age asase. Car na ema problem de bi odeko ufita ho ne ade no masafa ko ne kwaje asase. Why do you have to buy from Regnant Properties? When you make 30% deposit, you can start your building. Your well-demarcated site, free site plan and indenture after payment, free site visit every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 a.m. Note that T's and C's apply. Regnant Properties here were Kaswa Akwele just after the new market. Your numbers in 0549 544510 and 0540 461276. Regnant Properties, your property are priority. Mamemra Atiko na illegal mining matters arising.
Obi Milasi, and this is a topic I'm very passionate about. As I say, Mazda works on some of these themes, you know. issues of sustainable development, sustainable natural resource exploitation, and so forth. And last week, we even appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Lands and Natural Resources to testify on some issues. Inti idea damakuma super. And look, the loss of this fight is deliberate. Oh yes.
Yeah, shedda.
Say
minor shedda. Say
or me call minor. When you call minor?
Or you are saying people in authority.
In authority.
Okay.
I mean the loss has been intentional.
Okay.
Obi and Jimmy can't me say, oh ye kunya na yantime. This is a winnable fight. It's a fight we have won before. Why? I shall say no. Yantime win a man soon cry any better.
Any status yeah.
Exactly. Eban is saying, look, this current minister, what is we? Oh no, look, you go down in history as the worst ever minister for that sector.
Minister Samuel Abuja.
Absolutely. Because now, do you hear about the fight against Galamsey? Tell me, when was the last time you heard about that?
Operation Halt no Omejai.
Miss, who now here journalist catch me?
That also now a researcher in the sector.
No, it is. You see, it is outcomes you measure.
Sure.
Not rhetorics.
Yeah.
What is here?
Yeah.
So see, to the extent that I try. One was the inland water bodies, fresh water bodies. Now, the no process may use you know. It's a say I try across this year. I could pumu.
Hey.
Onampodo. What is na shama? Your adopted region.
Who say in Sofina bebo
epo? That's what I mean.
Okay.
And I didn't know why. It tells you the extent to which this is damaging our environment, damaging our water resources. Look, who can Ghana's revised NDC to what was that? Once you are a party to the Paris Agreement,
sure,
you are supposed to come up with idea of nationally determined contributions. Ghana revised. It used to be 31 policy areas and our priority policies.
Yes.
This year you did now call 91, and our buying will Omar revise in 2021. And Nina is telling you about sustainability, the way a sustainable use of land, protection of forests, and so on and so forth. Now, so Usha, and we are really determined
to fight it
and to preserve our environment and to win the fight against climate change. Since here, Galamsey, it has become free for all.
Sir,
look, the extent of damage, and there is this paradox, and I shall say even an irony. Say, you are allowing people to destroy forests, you turn around and say you are greening Ghana. What? Yeah, we radios come. Look, who are you fooling? Say, idea, you are supposed to prevent the depletion of the forest cover. You are supposed to protect the environment, the forest. What Jama ye say no? You turn around and go and take money from donors and claim say you are greening Ghana. What are you greening? You destroy and you claim you are greening. What are you greening? And look, you see, and yet there are some species of trees. It may absorb CO2. And there is difference in intensity, like the absorption intensity. Ebi why it may absorb more chain ebi.
Okay.
Ebi and and saying cry, and to me absorb CO2 no. The way an ye chuche say it may absorb. And the only be why a near che nti the absorption capacity no kesiye che ave na ebi kura wu. What is here?
Yes.
Tell me when was the last time Uti say ministry no deliberately TSC forest more ye juma. Look, people in authority to Galamsey, in party for to Galamsey, or be a to be. So and look, we have been scammed.
And yet legitimate small scale mine and our friend Galamsey. Because there's a licensing regime when you go through.
Relax. Remember, I noticed something, a categorization of the mining schemes.
Okay.
Unim say until recently. Now, in fact, it was PNDC Law 218 that brought about small scale mining.
Yeah.
We used to have just large scale because of the fact that it was capital intensive and the rest of it. And in fact, initially started with state corporations, and now we went to diversified investments in the area in a private sector and eventually we almost divested state interest in mining. As you see, but we started with large scale, and later we said, look, artisanal and small scale mining, that is where our crisis began. Because say artisanal and small scale mining no, it's not sophisticated. The implements they even use regular implements. Canino, shovels, until champagne, excavators. But look, excavators are not meant to be used in small scale mining. Artisanal and small scale mining, the tools are used, any excavators are used. These are for large scale miners. But young Shahayama says, see idea. Near the large scale mining, what was the large scale mining? A deep mine and a deep shaft mining on where. Small scale mining is just shallow. What is here? And you know what the excavator bar say nipa shallow mining. Or they no be a distraction obey.
Okay.
Ya yen shahaya ma ya bedu sa pempensi.
But I think remember what was so there is this breaking news. Who say over the weekend the center of attraction was Wale because of the NPP a parliamentary primary, right? There was a rerun. Yeah. There is a statement from the office of the Member of Parliament, Lariba Zuwaira Abudu, MP Walewale constituency, to the General Secretary, MPP, Headquarters Accra. Dear General Secretary, Walewale constituency parliamentary
primary. He issued a statement, so I think it's
Following the inconclusive rerun of the parliamentary primary in the Walewale constituency yesterday, with the Electoral Commission unable to declare a result as a result of an unfortunate incident, I have decided that in the interest of the greater good of the new patriotic party and peace and unity in the Walewale constituency, I will no longer be a candidate for MP in the 2024 elections. I am therefore formally withdrawing from the contest. I would like to thank the party for the honor done me in representing my constituency over the last 4 years, and can assure the party of my continued support in the 2024 election campaign. Yours sincerely, Honorable Lariba Zuwaira Abudu, MP, Walewale constituency. In a letter, the Abre General Secretary, I don't know, I withdraw from the Walewale primary.
Galamsey because I saw the Abe.
I don't know interest of so much.
Region.
Okay, what do you Galamsey and Mema right? We will Galamsey. But a breaking news now was sending to you. Yeah.
Anyway.
But the Uria Mema right?
What am I vim now for? Oh. Anyway, but you know I mean to also.
Yes.
Another issue I think has accounted for this unfortunate state of affairs with respect to young Galamsey situation. Look, among for Yaka Galamsey now, people easily small scale mining is different from illegal mining, no. But there's a fine line between the two. Obi wakoji small scale mining concession. Oyen ka krebi na odibi ka ho ni odi ka ho no de enka concession no. Oba na odi official concession document na kire. But ma artisans no say adjourning concession no. Omu tua ka ho. And what has even look, political commitment is a problem. Apart from the fact like it's difficult to easily tell who is doing Galamsey and who is not. No, the other issue is, in fact, I think at the heart of this is the unwillingness of the political elite to fight this thing. And like I said, it's because they are profiting directly from this. Indirectly, a lot of them have concessions. Any lands are any concessions are almost to Galamsey or so, almost to gold or so. Yes, and look. The president of this country,
or evidence was adding.
Haven't you read all kinds of reports? The problem is the participation of people in authority. That is why we are not winning the fight.
Okay,
it's that simple. You can catch us. And young one was say a country like Ghana with all the security agencies, catch and say we can't win the fight against Galamsey. It's because people are complicit in the practice. Until Nkrofuna is Mukutiano, they are the ones doing it. Until look, I have authority. Me to be who catch him say mean I should stop myself. Is that going to happen? And see that now I think the president of this republic, with all due respect, has scammed this country.
Scammed?
Yes.
Scammed?
Yes. And I use the word scammed in the context or I almost said what you're in trouble, but that I and say this was a fight that was
passionate.
He was passionate about. Net then akuma so. Sena Odijin adie. Odijin second term. Odijin second.
Something that almost cost him his second term.
No, it did not. Look, at the time, the anger of Ghanaians was live and well. Na Ghana for Buefu.
But his party lost almost all the mining constituencies.
You would have lost the entire country. Look at, you see, when you say all mining constituencies, how many are they? Which constituencies do you
where they had seats, where they were
maybe mention 2 or 3 seats. Galamsey constituencies are Omulusi Ebo.
Oh, I know of Pristia Huni Valley. I know of
Memphis. No, maybe. So, Pristia Huni Valley, he lost because of Galamsey.
So it was a city.
No, but he declared. No, you see.
Why didn't you lose at Chihuahua?
I mean, that's the point.
Why didn't you?
How many constituencies do we have by air mining?
Why did you lose
Galamsey?
No, there's gold in.
Oh,
gold in your.
Chairman Ifa. Galamsey order.
It's still okay. Chihuahua baby, Minister for Transport, outgoing Minister for Transport away. Yen 2 Galamsey war.
Minister of Roads.
Sorry.
People do proper mining.
Proper mining. Look, you see, they say these things to make themselves feel good and to sleep at night. Say, oh, he even lost some Galamsey, some constituencies that mining because of his
fight. No?
The anger of Ghana for don't look at those bits and pieces. Because there are other areas they mine Obuasi. How come Kukwati still won? How come the other person still won?
The votes margin went down.
Wait, did he win or he didn't? Did he not win?
But the challenge was with the swing constituencies, where they lost in mining constituencies were swing.
Maybe so. Could we also say Mahama lost because of Galamsey 4? Because Onusu he started BBC Shishin Crawford excavators cry. And the Anka say Onusu Kahun Onusu Lusu 2016 Nana. The anger of Ghana. This is the first time our associations were formed to fight against Galamsey.
Sure.
And now he saw the danger. Say, I do the man, you be the man, here. Forget mining communities. No Ghana drew na crown a bit to abanitiami. What's that here? Because that was a time everybody was active to the call and to the demand for the fight against this Galamsey. And you saw the dangers on the wall. And okay, say, I am putting my presidency on the line. Such statement, assuaged people's hard feelings. It assuaged the anger na forward towards him and his administration. No?
Okay.
All crossing line and or papa line. No? All we need to line or papa line. No?
I think you're not being fair.
Tell me what you see. Woman can tell me. Look, he's a lame duck now.
You're not being fair.
And you see, lame duck presidents, they couldn't be bothered about anything. No?
As I say,
no, it's a fact of life. Lame duck presidents couldn't be bothered about anything. What you say?
Yes.
And you see, there is something. I did a study on the effects of term limits on institutions and things like that. There's BBI lame duck effect. Obia who runs term limits. Or one last term now. She knew one fashion.
Okay.
And that's precisely what we are seeing. He took us into believing, say, he meant to fight,
fight.
What did he do? After 2020?
He did fight.
Catch me. After 2020, the situation has moved from bad
to worse.
What has he? And today now, what have you ever heard him after 2020? Say, Nanado Jina baby, say, look, we are reviving the fight, we are taking it. What be that? President Sinokaze is on the line why? Makajo say wa papa line no. Until line be any hobby. What is your can was MBM? That is the and once the president, everybody has seen say there is some inertia, there is some unwillingness.
Putogum shigum.
And one because who be shiny a president now can say no. To advise yourself, say man paying wefu. He's determined. We a minister, we a MPO, we a party executive.
You will not dare.
You will not. Look, time ye on any brie now also per second term no. Almost 13 years no no. No party you hardly heard people saying that a party executive yes minister yes you hardly heard that. Okay. But after that it is free for all. And we have destroyed the to the extent says this year. Look, from climate change crampo, we are beginning to feel the effects in with Wunsu. What I say? Yeah. And these are the environmental effects of Galamsey. You can environmental sustainability. You should be able to protect your water bodies, your forest resources. What I say?
Okay.
But when you say, to the extent that people are even saying it's mining, I think that's an extreme call. It's not actionable.
The Ghana Medical Association.
It's not actionable. It's not actionable.
Mining. Almost say small scale, all forms of small scale mining.
That would be a tough one. Oh, because when you say minister Ibaye,
without that, how do you fight it?
No, you don't need to suspend it. Minister Ibaye, he suspended mining in forest reserve.
Yeah, almost declare all red zones.
Says here red zone 1. They've all become white zones. Yeah, 2 says here among for 2 without fear. There was a ban on giving new leases.
Sure.
Akosiisen.
It was Empire FM.
He says here it was Empire FM. I can't watch him. Says here a month for new leases.
In forest reserves.
Yes. Says here took call. Mrs. says here there's no control in soldier for na kaninu yetimi chinkrof. Says here what you monka bi. I man who saw Ghana for buye fu biemi. Yes, he attended as you chinkrof 81 on the end. Now they are standing trial. Krofo mutu Galamsey 81. And away am bank and Tikrase Bibisa Ekoso.
Yeah.
Because the effect of arresting and prosecuting is to deter others.
Those standing trial could be say the financiers
are the kingpins.
And now say
they are the kingpins of inflation, not Galamsey. They are the kingpins of inflation.
Because what you
not Galamsey.
The financier will go and recruit new people and put them on the
simple as workers in our coach. Nipana adini Indiano. Unchi
yeah.
Look, I feel said the loss is deliberate, it's intentional, and Ghanaians have been scammed. And it's about time we took issues of sustainable mining very seriously. Look, we are not doing sustainable mining.
Say immediately what should happen. Also GMA say immediately the way out is to ban all forms of small scale mining.
Look, the way out is simple. The way out is simple. So therefore, engage. Who is the question is who is even going to engage them? Nipa no be engage you, is not interested. But let's speak hypothetically and academically. Get the security agencies, teach you the armed forces, get the CDS, get the chief of army staff, get some police, and for another institution almost 2 years forest forestry commission. Look, we know the Galamsey zones. It's easy. Get a few drones, and drones be to do the monitoring. As CIA can say, there should be a centralized point. Drones any number chef feet live in real time.
Charles Bisi time or interministerial almost set up a whole drone a year.
No, it was an app, another day.
The app with the drones and everything.
So we can go back to Indian if we have such an infrastructure. No, because of the unwillingness of the political elite, I'm giving you a solution that will work in the interim.
Okay.
In 2-3 weeks, we have Share, you get the soldiers, give them strict instructions.
KPIs. Do it or you CDS, you lose your job.
You lose your job.
Also, who will get the soldiers? That's the question.
So the commander in chief
of the armed forces
of the Ghana armed forces.
President.
Of course.
What was the last time I can't
because that will cut in 2 to 3 weeks. We'll cut in short term.
No, this is a hypothetical. I'm not sure it's going to be worked on.
Practical 2 to 3 weeks.
It's practical, but whether you're the join is another matter.
Okay.
Now you give now.
I was getting excited.
Look, and you get people from Minerals Commission who can vet concession documents.
Concessions
mineral rights no obia your cost concession biaso produce a document that entitles you to these mineral rights and that gives you these mineral rights. They can vet proper documents. Yet you now need proper documents. And the other solution is to set up specialized courts. Let's have an environmental court.
You don't think we should bring in the owners of the land?
Say I didn't say cheno. Michiwa, ubechem no dia assassin ma.
Sure.
What I say? Your excavator urano. Mrs. a chain, which nipa back, why you produce by 10? Now, yes, there's a specialized court, environmental court.
Yeah.
Now you speak with the CJ
Chief
and panel where passion, where the assembly temtem. I am telling you, sir, in 2 to 3 weeks.
Ibicha. Atik Mohammed in Kano. Obi, as a health practitioner, I'm a primary witness to the increasing birth defect, kidney and liver conditions, most especially in the mining communities. Much as I believe there are politically exposed persons and government officials fueling the menace by equipping the workers, I doubt if the issue can be eradicated even with political will. Why? Simply because it's the natives of the various communities that engage in the mining, whilst the chiefs receive proceeds from them. Who are custodians of the land? The chiefs, I guess. Who buy the machines? The big men. Who jumps into the rivers and forest reserves? The youth of those towns. Whilst there's political campaigns of promising the native Galamseyers that the activity will continue, the sitting government wouldn't want to gamble with that. Example, NPP nearly lost the presidential election in 2020 due to attempts to stop the menace.
Really?
Having learned bad lessons from that, they had to let the menace continue.
No, is that a bad lesson?
Protect the seats.
So at every point, you allow yourself to be held hostage. Not just say armed robbers cry, bedroom maybe armed robbers will be holding our government officials to ransom.
Health practitioner no the way.
No, but one. Said, they regularized Galamsey by introducing a on friend community mining. That is what gave official backing to Galamsey.
But a community miner go through the licensing regime.
So license.
Yes.
See, that is what gave official backing. You see, you say small scale mining.
No, then what it means is after the ban on all forms of small scale mining, then we are not going back into small scale mining as a country.
No.
Because the license say they are after the ban.
No, and
there should be a process.
Once a small scale mining, you can either go individually or as a cooperative.
Yes, I get you.
And this small community mining. It was brought in as a corporate. Imagine, Nipa Baku cry, it is saying our Kakakam boom say, Mumbra name license and I'm go to gold. What do you think is going to happen?
After the ban, what should happen? No license again.
I'm not advocating a ban.
Okay, for now.
I am saying they audit the existing concessions. And make sure say Obia only license to be there.
Will be out of work.
That's one. But in forest areas, that ban on place, they should reinstate it.
The red zone, no?
They should reinstate
with
it.
Water bodies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they should tell small scale mining for say, you are not allowed to use equipment when you are doing small scale mining.
Okay.
Artisanal and small scale mining.
No excavator.
Yeah.
Obi, good evening. Sometimes I feel sad when I hear people that we've entrusted the authority of this nation with, come out to say that they have lost a number of constituencies because of Galamsey.
Can you imagine?
So because of that, they have given up on the fight against Galamsey. But Obi, you would agree with me that one of the major reasons why people voted out Eswal Muhammad administration was Dumso. Meanwhile, Dumso was a generational problem that Mahama had to suffer for. So they should give us a break. Maxwell Akana, Ewo Madina, Nedie Enono. Obi, I've come again. The government should ban all small-scale mining in Ghana, and any community found to be engaging in these illegality, the chief, the police commander, the MC or DC should all be arrested and prosecuted.
Simple.
I think a way to go.
Yeah, it's a way to go. And
chiefs as custodians of the land, MC, DC as the political head, police commander. There are some districts, a police station, a chief.
So the police now so on arrested as a solution. No?
As you free tell me can say soldier for
soldier for
you see, so
no. You see, which small when you station them there, Master, they easily become compromised. But me see, give the order to the CDS, hold him responsible. Now man boys don't go to Galamsey and go protect Galamsey for Nenshe. Your CDS has given you an order.
For the bra, now. Because I just had an make earlier. So soldier for you, your mark operation hot, operation operation Vanguard.
Big men who convert some of them into langars for their concessions. But you are giving a strict order to the CDS. What has here?
Yes.
Whether it goes well or not, he is held accountable. Let's show the ABC.
Obi, good afternoon. Why is it that only the NDC pastors? Okay. But are there NDC pastors?
Over Sunday.
Come on,
Sir, and then
that's all the passes are
voices. That's all money in this.
Galamsey has no more.
And you are not saying.
Look at this.
Why is it that those pastors are the only people currently speaking against the Galamsey menace? Or say it is indeed a big problem, but none of them is condemning Tony Obeng and Kweku Boahin for campaigning in the mining areas with the candidate, promising amnesty to Galamsey.
Yes, immediately after
Umar Ewo Accra and on the way Abba. We say Obi, good evening. Must Galamsey continue for our water bodies to be destroyed because of unemployment? Romans 6:1. Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Food for thought. We Ghanaians must wake up from our behavior and slumber. By the way, congrats to you and your wonderful team. God grant you more wisdom, good health, and strength to save Ghana. I'm Apostle Edikash from Kaswa. Apostle Edikash or Kaswa. Good day, Obi. You don't know why the NDC is so sure of what they are saying. They have been in this game. They have been doing this thing in the past. So they are afraid of their own shadows. Then be bad people and Kasa if you don't know. Akufo-Addo, Dansuman. I believe it's on the voters register there. Charlie.
But on Ghana, I wouldn't say mining extremes too. You're either doing large scale or small scale.
Or small scale, sure.
See, my suggestion.
But artisanal and any small scale now are the same, right?
Boom,
okay.
Yeah. Because artisanally and Crawford pick a gather and sell, no.
Okay.
That's artisanal.
Yeah.
Proper Galamsey, not what has become of it today. No.
Sure.
That's the artisanal. But the small, no, what could you concession? What is here? Now with the less complicated and complex implements. But mostly you employ artisans, you know, on
to work on the site.
So anything usually is ASM instead of separating them.
Okay.
But I'm saying, why can't we have medium scale
mining?
So that it becomes regulated at a large scale. Large scale is not giving us, apart from the issue
once a while,
is the revenue and maybe some environmental issues.
Yeah.
But it's very well organized.
In the medium scale for no would be regulated like large scale for no, and then we limit small scale for no to use artisanal equipment.
No, that's it. What is here?
Yeah.
And it will be part of the solution.
Hi, Obi. I am in Nkranza in the Bono region, Bono East region. I beg to differ with the article published by Dr. Owusu that both illegal and small-scale mining are ongoing in Nkranza. With respect to Don Krong Kwanta mining Bruhaha, the whole town is engulfed with gold. There has been countless times to mine this gold, but the natives of Don Krong Kwanta has resisted it countless times. We would continue to resist such actions if proper plans are not tailored to mine this precious mineral. Thank you. And I think it's about time so our communities began to take their destinies into their hands and protect.
There's a community.
Yeah.
One professor. Yes, was he a man? And for a very long time.
Atik, yes.
The MP for
Bia East.
Yeah. Honestly, why not you say we are when to Galamsey?
You know the reason why that is an effective way. As I said earlier, the concept of ownerless land does not exist in Ghana. Asasibia Wura.
Yeah.
State lands, you don't find these illegalities on state lands.
Not there.
Yes. It is a family and stool. Family and stool. So why are we going around this in cycle?
Because Nipa wa benefits. What is here? Into why never chuma?
But in Krona him for na jina wa akase ye de it's not happening.
Yes.
It's not happening.
Yes. But
it's not happening.
We know the solution.
Because Ebusu penny be akasa me masa so me mani nsi. Ohini be akasa me masa so me mani nsi. It will go.
Obi na say ye mining wa Ghana.
Obey mining. Say abayne won sase a omo land banks for mining concessions or it am na buying twetwa bi man
for. All mineral rights are vested in the president for in our
me there me concern with Wilmono and the ye won sumu a
in Sumu the crowd and it was a giant immediately.
But you see, near Aya man Comono, a qua na quay in Kobesie, a politics a rim. Say a Cassia Becca Galamsey as some near be kind of some mine, near Nancy as you say, idea higher.
Yeah.
Obia Kabia won't slow. But to send ye, text I don't refer to Kuba and Nito the Obim, Kojina Oka say, ye 2 bad neya, ye 2 year pennies you need per Momrano.
They are more begun.
No, that be chairman, man, Kasa. These are people. These are people. No, I mean we have tapes. The videos are there. Let me give you a
there's executive power.
Esa enibri sika enibri ene de ye pedi etwa ena me kire itu de ka akonfo be na ye nka akonfo se ye ka Galamsey asem.
So I'm just telling
because Galamsey no ye hunu se ekum ye mposi se akonfo ekum ye what does here enti no se nipa di 2 minutes ye nsa no wo opponent when nya message bia no anya responsible enough na okọ it is a Galamsey no a campaign. It's a
problem with
that is it.
It's unacceptable.
What you say? It is ye the son or ye misa baby if you buy it. I don't know. I must be depending on what they infantia Galamsey for. It is ye car. But
I didn't know what they infantia Galamsey for.
And I make sure we matchroom
said and opposition benefited from.
And I make sure this is what happened in the last election. Sabri we are Galamsey in some sorry. Obi, and yes, sir, Yebeka Ede Afua Galamsey for. Eti enyese enkofo kotwitwa ensuo ani asani adia ti ne efo se Galamsey nkofo ajai Atik ne efo se Galamsey nkofo ajai
but ne was
that is it omoyo but because ye ko elections mu ni adinti no and then just asapeja it is just like what happened the last time ye prese ye be stop ni ade no obi ko gina ho ka se he mutuma ya pe ade chipa momra no enu na esa shasie
but we gave back on it because the authority themselves
but I think somebody sent a message and Honorable I say illicit lucrative businesses are the most difficult to stop. The motivation to remain in there is seen to be higher than the risk. Send them to jail and they will come back to it. Or say, ask yourself, why has the Americans failed to win the war on drugs after spending $1 trillion? And he attaches a picture from NBC News. War on drugs, 52 years since it began. No. $39 billion spent in 2022. $1 trillion spent since 1971.
It's the same.
And still the war has not been
different, but the objects are different.
the same.
AG Echo bar conference.
Yeah.
Watch him say nipa 860.
Was it 81 and 800?
860. And that prosecution.
Yeah, I checked 81.
No.
I read 81.
It's 71 and ya prosecute you more. Ya jail you ya convict you more. But 860 I want that trial.
What is the category of those? What are the category of those people? Are they
owners,
artisans,
excavators, owners, operators? Who are they?
We don't have the breakdown, but at least this number is sizable enough for Obia to know.
Crime. If you are prosecuting for crime. The person you catch in the act.
No.
Say no divulge further information for you to get the aiders and abettors now fine. But say when in the absence of getting the aiders, the person would have to should tell us.
Who they are dealing with investigation.
Whether they attempted to find out.
Sanipa 860 way. Sanipa 860 way. Emududu anu find themselves in jail. Next time, who are sponsor no? Who nya kwala bimpo no akwakwanye.
Unemployment, unemployed youth.
And I made
unemployment moving from 8.6%.
If you catch the owners of the concession,
not do yes, I cover your prosecutor me. Do not find themselves in jail. It will deter. It's your day. Your mom with you.
Look, an entity was found to have been engaged in illegal mining. President Nagasaka said there be any sanity. Akunta mining. Man Benga said they are not engaged. Meanwhile, the minister had the contrary view. The committee are not Mukorano. They had the contrary view. The president or see there be the pan is not doing illegal mining. The president one Kasasa keke. Evidence on evidence on no the case. Because the reality is that the minister who Ghana for and I said this government is not against mining. And you to tell me beside say 80 yen now the monka say into form. And that's it. If it means William Manka. Oh, that's it. But responsible mining. And there was here say ebeko and that's a nipa over here mining no ye die ni bedi omachi na the omode say yensuo ne the omode ya higher ne de unkopo sika ma ehun sunsanso no e ma yen yeso but the me case ni say ye na si ye ko Galamsey ya yemfa o mine no ho do ene akoba kro enko na yenya ise sabri ya ye ti aban mu na be ya de so ya ye pese ye be so ano no obi be gire e dey politics ye nwan man this for na make asa chiro. What was the motivation of President Akufo-Addo in saying akunta mining is not engaged in illegal mining? You are your minister maybe nipa na who deals directly with them no NK said this entity is engaged in illegal mining. Mining ye mpa chire say mining ye mpa chire say ye mfa mining she obi kon wa chichira ye ntu say nipa we oye illegal mining.
Yentie doc Atik it okay. Let's listen to them.
They are afraid of their own shadows. Obekaya Omampeni Nana Akufo-Addo 2016 oya ne campaign oko Obuasi ono Obuasi mabunu kasa no oka kire omo say ono na nado a oba beye president na wapadwuma ma omo emabunu no yen NDC for eni nipa bi keka se oba obegu Galamsey obetwa Galamsey mu na oka kire omo say eyentro ongu Galamsey ende ongu Galamsey ochina the voice is there
FM
and uti no oba ya o pretend say ni buafu ogina nananum anim ni buafu akekare nanim ese oputi the presidency on the line no yen mu bi there na yinim say enya no kre now two ohwadia omo ayeya the fight against Galamsey no when the money there omo ba first time there was certain perception say omo kura concession omo kura license no when the money ade no they obtained them during NDC regime to omo NDC for and until so omo pe kwan bi so a omo ka say ye freeze process no afi ye ba be restart na afi omo hwe omo check concessions na e dey ama we live with them. Ono ga say woni the former regional chairman one na him say oye Galamsey was still no he knows
what do you mean Galamsey oye miner
fast for den
oye miner but won't you mean Galamsey
we know criminal when you see how we behave. No. It is the reason
chairman we can obi am to be money obi ma me pass
the reason why we may never be able to solve this problem.
If any other person comes any other person betna and make his comments now about you, I will not allow it.
Yes. No, if it is about me, now say no question me, yeah, I'll go and sober.
But in the case of the person you are mentioned, because of a crime, has it been established?
No. The former chairman, I am minor, but you cannot tell me so. Former chairman of MPP.
They will point to you, MPP, national officers, Nibi. And then when your man had the Omeka also wait there, the concession, and I that a friend
Obi, I'm telling
you, sir, a major road that a Kwango, Obesha will differ so. No machines is why. Year to you, and you clearly know, sir, this is not regular mining.
Impunity of the highest
order. So I say, my opportunity, national chairman by a call round. But be able to be a Michelle and so na Meraho. Michelle so na Meraho. You understand that? Is it a knowledge problem?
Mining regions near 14.
Is it a knowledge problem? Is it that you need competence na? Because like we all agree, a good deal on Yakupon their chain, our form just like crude. Anyone your money. Now, as and when technology improves, our ability to extract the natural resource, ekosoro. And you know, gold by Ghana has a many sure say started from Ghana Gold Coast, many sure say within the past decade or two, or harder than. Opinion say we have gold. Imponomoa, omonim gold, you know, Felicia, near two so far no crown, say nipa and more than yebu. People who, you know, my solve the geological.
When they say a candidate, answers of gold,
which means we have it. But if we don't have the knowledge, if we don't have the technology to explore it sustainably
is the most important.
What are we doing as a people? What are we doing as a people? And not for me.
You support the calls for a total ban,
especially in Somudiano. Chanfai ni adi omo de kosi su. I say edio.
And nobody illegal.
I say FPSO. I know when your money adio. And you see it's a cars mu, tracks mu.
And ye dey
extra police points. That thing it has only one use. Me nyahu adefo fry de chanfai
just for insumo
mining.
Allow it into the country in the first
place. Just insumo mining. And it has only one use. Any dual use or multiple use. Like I said, only panel or the bar. Say yeah, insumo or the be or the back. But even when they do,
no, but the interesting thing is that when you go to the mining community, at least I can speak for Wase Kropon, Udua, there are shops that own champagne.
Exactly.
Shops no
and everybody
But only one thing, and I think, and that's why I agree with Testa Bakon, they are no cassette. At the end of the day, the mining communities themselves, because Atik, when you go to Wase Kropon, the entire economy of the town depends on.
I saw a billboard.
Yes.
Of a bank advertising loan for mining.
Oh yeah, me say the entire economy of the community depends on mine, not even regular mining.
Yes, I understand it.
No, it's a typical case of Dutch disease.
It is crazy.
Because
yeah, you don't see anything. That's the effect. Uko Pristia.
Despite the fact that the local economy because somebody are overspending on their money.
It's a typical case of the Dutch disease. You tend to focus only on the exploitation of the mineral. Every other source of livelihood is abandoned.
I believe entirely say a leadership problem.
Indeed,
a leadership
and
problem.
Special commitment to that sector. Look,
borrowing money. My politicizing or anyone your money are there. Sabe. Civil society groups, they can advocate. Said the media makasa media for a kasa na meet biaka. Yeah, you opposition. Kasa de meet biaka.
Number kwa kasa muntu maye na muntu maye ape.
Leadership.
But Unim said the leadership question. Okay, the leadership question
is about.
Because this menace transcends administration.
Yes.
In the I recall, say under John Mahama, Inus Husseini started a similar thing with the soldiers. Mahama Yariga continued. At a point, it had to be abandoned. MPP came to power. Or my operations more than 10. Ninyina Anyejuma. It really, what is the issue? And which leader are we looking at to come and solve this?
If, for example, people are willing to put their jobs on the line. Because there are indicators. There are clear indicators. Galamsey no indicators and indicators. And they almost testing water. Friends saying indicators. And no one they are telling you about a turbidity of over 14,000.
Sure.
So what they are saying.
Sure.
High above friends machines now almost at distilling so no one money at the turbidity it can take.
Okay.
And not to know if we all this empirical evidence as a say forest in so no turbidity no cosro pH cosro and no one money there. It should tell you say the fight now also will fight. No, you are failed.
You are failed.
If you are a minister,
your
if you are a
promise, and
minister,
Ghana under the leadership of John Mahama would win this fight.
We should be able to do it. At least he has been there.
Hey,
no,
I want to take your word for it.
He will win it.
Ghana under John Mahama.
I'm saying he will win it.
Despite the fact that in the past we couldn't win it.
But you can you say I know na friends mean not don pre ekokan basa say omo de e bi say no see bi. We are looking at the indicators. Obi anim said na yensuo na nitie in 2016.
Okay.
And obi anim said the yensuo nitie ene. What na make can say.
Very well.
Etino Omampedi John Dramani Mama, he has
that's
been
really
there.
Unfortunate.
He has
the comparison of who is worse.
He has seen, and he was a member of parliament too.
Let's have
but I think you should understand. In a situation like this, and that
is one thing about the Ghana for. As a way minister, then you resist idea with the child. And unfair and you when you obronia kwa resign. I said, I'm a minister, Ghana Sassy, and the Ghana.
No, as minister, you go down.
This is my scorecard.
Pretended over the worst form of Galamsey.
This is my scorecard. And you are still watching your scorecard and you are proud of the scorecard. If you are a minister, by now, what resign?
Asempa FM.
Say, all the share a friend saying, Obinsa. An agency binsa
and
also you fire the person. If you are not firing the person, it means you are complicit. And president, so if you are not firing your minister, it means you are personally complicit.
Look, the Minerals and Mining Act gives the power to grant mineral rights
to the minister.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the back stops you, and then of course you obviously ends with the president. But about the sector now is the minister. Look.
The
sector without
the minister.
But of course,
it says the recommendation will be from the Minerals Commission.
Exactly.
And the approval has to come from him. And the lease eventually he has to grant.
Since now,
recommendation
granted the license.
What was that?
Now during the course of implementation, the regulatory agencies
they have to monitor.
And making sure say because that's what I'm saying. We don't lack knowledge. In terms of regulation and policies,
the laws, the BBI are perfect.
Suggestions are
they are all there. Yeah, they know.
These are rocket science. The knowledge is there. It is the human weakness to resist. As I idea with the kind of too many.
Not first to commission.
So just
anyhow.
Who took him serious? Nobody took him serious. Not even the presidency.
Okay, in way say Obi. What in way a message on the easing common. Obi, what is Atik talking about? If 250,000 data error is identified out of just a percentage of the entire data, that must be a worry to him and all of us. Is Atik saying that the error in the 250,000 should just be corrected and that will resolve the issues?
It's just a claim.
Yeah, not quite a claim.
It's not been established.
Please tell Atik that data inconsistencies can lead to inaccurate or misleading results and can cause errors, biases, and inefficiencies in data analysis and mining, which will not give the true picture when it is used without it being cleaned for such a very important election ahead of us. And the way Paul De Suso from Worcester in Massachusetts, not the way. Let me see the other ones we have here. We say, Obi, how are they going to win it when the ex-president says he will grant amnesty to those in prison?
Another problematic statement.
Okay, so
no. What was the basis for that?
Well, in fact, it was unwarranted.
He's just said your call by a conference. What call numbers to create an impression, say, or more air fighter. Galamsey. Meanwhile, deep within him, when we say these are just the pawns.
But it doesn't matter. Crime is crime. The pawns are engaged in crime. The kingpins are engaged in crime. And yet either or, until you are arresting these people, you are also targeting these people. Yes.
These people now, or feel say, or no cry there. You know what do you say? There are people who don't even believe say obia fa na adwuma so mama na adwuma ma no or commit crime. Those they say
but ignorance of the law is no excuse.
He was explaining the tributary concept.
Yeah.
A man for the concession. And concession no a legal. But we just want our own too. And now or they are renting Galamsey.
Yeah.
Or they are renting and Akufo as a into. And Akufo
no illegally.
It no question document there. We say area hono.
Legal concession.
Legal concession. But a na air cost in fact no.
It doesn't comply with
exactly.
Lay down, you know.
So what I say. And to no the offer say oh ya from your juma say me juma ma akonta gold mine for example. Akonta gold mine from juma. Oba soldier for bar around so no me gina adwuma mu ho a me too.
Yeah.
Original pit mo
me too.
And ya be say me.
Also akonta na kasa no de otifie and oko fan crofo so mo me too ma no.
Yeah.
You understand?
But
and you
the
the government you say the fact that you the government
are guilty.
Both are guilty. In which you
say ye be ja kwala no. Na you go after. You go after.
But you know that cannot let you win the fight.
Yeah. Say
it
will lead it because
you are winning our collective.
That is not true. No, that's not true. If you don't go after kingpins,
so that will mean say without the kingpins, no. The pawns you described have not committed a crime?
They can't afford an excavator.
No. Have they not committed a crime?
They are victims. Actually.
You know what you're doing? What you're doing is
no, they are victims.
I'm Robert Sibe
they are victims.
I'm Robert Sibe.
Yes.
The guns are bought for them.
Yes.
The fact that you're it doesn't make sense.
For those small,
I thought you had disowned the statement. You are still owning it.
Yes. Because a life.
Record. They shouldn't be saying
a record at that.
No,
MP who to Galamsey. What MP who to Galamsey? Once man kwala akwa adwuma. Ya kire kwala ngwani age esa wo de ya anche.
No,
you are happy.
Why do you want to release the boys?
Hey, that's come after you.
But why do you want to release the boys?
We will not waste or minor resources on
those
posts. We'll go after them.
You see, that
we'll go after them.
With this attitude,
that is a
there's
better
no way
way
of
solving it.
It doesn't have any clue.
The point is that go after everybody.
John Muhammad doesn't have any clue.
That's why we are where
the candidate himself will not repeat what he said.
That is why we are
on hindsight. That is why we are trying to own it. Run away from his own comment. You are still owning it.
That is why we are where we are now. That is why we are where we are now.
Why do you?
Because
why hasn't he repeated that?
Politics. The NDC
you and I person be kind of correct. That is it. Oh, person ye ja oh MP now oh to Galamsey no. Na ya che won kwala no. Is that how we solve the problem? That's not how we solve the problem. That's not how we solve the problem.
Who na camping na so ba so kutu form no. Onya Ghana ni a we say ensure that wutu no. O say no.
What
it's who na che wa yenya o. Ye kwankwache you ti fia ye ni no.
Called Nkwala no. Omni camping so they are not substitutes so. They are not. So that it becomes an either or. They be
they are criminals committing crime.
Obi, ye wo videos and collect gina issue so. E ka say ye tu o mo pa mo ma chi ye. No me very proud of what they are doing. Na say ni baba che no. Your mama so be ja no.
This is most important.
Then by a stretch of that thinking,
we have
then all armed robbers are Nkofo to
Obi be say weekend me share obi.
You
catch him say
your analogy is
it means Omuba
far-fetched.
No,
it's not. No, can say Omuba.
It's far-fetched because people who have done research,
they'll be looking for more excavators.
People who have done research in Galamsey, professors from Yamaya. Now, Bisom say, engage in Galamsey. No, what is their perspective?
No, they are not the kingpin. Nobody says
I'm not saying they are the kingpin. I'm saying, so what is their perspective of it? Their perspective is a livelihood perspective.
Sure.
They are carrying a livelihood logic.
Yes.
So I'm
then you're gonna all talk excavators. Who is the engine on As for that, now if you stretch out to tell you it's our livelihood.
That is
we are earning a living.
So if you indeed want to solve
crime, can never be a source of livelihood. Let me
say, yeah, programs be
acceptable.
Obi, yeah, programs be they are not stopping.
You can't tell me say
illegal mining is
criminal offense now. More MPs more.
I'm not disputing that.
Obi, you go after everybody.
Why do you
don't release more?
But
a court of competent jurisdiction.
It is just like
vote to Casa. Vote to Casa.
Say amnesty.
Of course. So you are behaving like as if say no so nyamra kwan so.
No the votes.
So you
not here Jomama no the votes.
Me assure say your candidate today.
I'm saying say.
Okay, you won't repeat it.
No, but my original chairman.
I'm not saying say
he's not a candidate.
Please. I'm saying say amnesty so nyamra na.
We are not saying it's illegal. Removing them is illegal.
So what are you talking about?
No, we are talking about the fight.
Bro, how does it compromise the fight? We are telling you how we are going to fight it. A very vital solution. We should go after them. Haven't you said that?
Sure.
Now, if you are going after them, why? But
that doesn't mean you should grant them.
We are tackling the root source. Need to be to excavator.
If I don't think this is the solution of the candidate, but if indeed it is
part of the solution.
No solution.
The solution is not one solution. It is part of the solution.
You didn't say solutions. You said solution.
It is part
of
the
solution. Your solution is to come out.
Solution Nkofo de koka say mo e ne mra ye ba ne ya na masa ba betu and I hear mama o se meja mu nyina o solution no
so what is solution
me make can say yeah ba register all miners register all miners so that we can regulate the activities
I don't know.
Community man, community